Hey everybody, how's it going? Hopefully all is well. I am not waiting for the notifications to be sent out for an audience to be built up. Of course, it's very rare that I go public from my or go live from my personal profile. Typically, I go live from my public ministry page, Lamont Walker Ministries. But anyway, I wanted to come on and I wanted to speak to everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, tapping in. Hopefully, all is well with you all. I have seen many of you sharing today the graphic in regards to Juneteenth, and I want to say thank you so very much for sharing that. I think it's very important for us to be educated about what's going on in our world today and times and things of that nature. And then I want to share just a couple of words of wisdom. Number one, stop taking everything so personally. Stop taking everything so personally. That's number one. When a person comes at you from a professional aspect and from a professional perspective, and if you are the type of person that takes offense and you see it as being attacked personally, it's an indication of immaturity, and that's also a sign that you or the other person may need to grow up. And some things that you may be ready for, some things you may not be ready for. And I was just thinking about this because there are people who always like to make situations and everything about them, and so they get offended very easily. But it's a sign that you need to grow up. And I also learned that just because an 8-year-old can get behind the wheel of a car doesn't mean that they should be actually driving a car. So I'm going to say that again because we are surrounded by a lot of 8-year-olds. We're surrounded by a lot of 8-year-olds who don't know how to compartmentalize. Number one, who don't know how to cipher through and understand and separate their emotions from certain situations. So, and again, they're walking around as ticking time bombs. They're ready to explode at any given moment, and you may be the person that causes them to explode, and unbeknownst to you, that's not your intention at all. Again, you're coming from a professional perspective. But then here's the other thing, the other word of wisdom, and then I'm going to get off of here. Some of you may be able to identify with this, some of you may not, but I want to encourage you to be nice, be kind, be understanding, and be forgiving, especially with people that you interact with and come into contact with. One of the reasons why it's difficult for some of you to do that is because you are in a place of offense. You are also in a place of hurt. And so you interact with people behind those emotions, behind those mindsets, from your hurt, from your anger, from your pain. That's how you interact with people. But you need to actually start to deal with your stuff. I'm going to encourage you, deal with your stuff. Whatever your situation may be, as uncomfortable as it may seem, deal with your stuff, because not everybody that's walking around or even people that are around you are there to harm you. There are actually people that are around you that are there to help you. But if you actually hurt or offend them because you have not dealt with your stuff, it's going to eventually again hurt them and hinder the relationship and the interaction that you need to have with those persons. And those could be persons that are designed to help you, hear me what I'm saying, get down the road to your next point in place of destiny. So I want to encourage you to be nice, be kind, be understanding, and be forgiving, because you don't know what people are dealing with. Do y'all see the number of shootings and killings that are going on around this country and stuff? I mean, people are popping off, and how people are taking their lives because people are in real life situations. And this is one of the things that I encourage our music ministry, our music team with, especially when it comes to us leading worship, but then also interacting with people in our ministry. You can see it if you are a leader with any type of discernment or insight. When you step into a room, you're able to discern and see the atmosphere, and you can realize where a person actually is mentally and emotionally. And so sometimes when I see people come in, you don't know what people are experiencing before they even come into contact with you. And there's a text that says, love your neighbor as yourself. So sometimes when you see some people, some of those people have just come from a place of being cussed out. Some of those folks have just come from a place of being physically abused. Hear me what I'm saying. There are some people that have financial situations, financial burdens that they are under and unsure of how they're going to be able to provide and even meet the need, and again, and it's causing stress and again, all types of volatile situations and emotions are all over the place. So I would highly recommend and encourage you, again, my word of wisdom to you today is to be nice, be kind, be understanding, and be forgiving, and execute patience. And it takes maturity, it takes growth to be able to get to that place and understand, okay, I understand. I work in a place, I work in the industry where I deal with, I literally, hear me, I literally deal with hurting people. I deal with people who are physically hurting, who are literally mentally, emotionally hurting on a daily basis. I do it for a living. And so I understand and know what I'm talking about. And sometimes when you come into contact with those people, they are not the happiest people. They are not the friendliest people. Why? Because they're hurting. They're in a situation that they don't want to be in. Hear me what I'm saying. They're in a situation that they don't want to be in, and they don't know how long they're going to be in it. So sometimes when I interact with them, hear me, when I interact with them, I know and understand, and I have to be the mature person to come from the perspective of being nice, being kind, being understanding, and being forgiving. Because let me tell you, when you use and execute and utilize those four principles, those four things right there, and it's really coming from a place of love, you can only give that if you have true, genuine love inside of your heart. If you haven't gotten that love, if you don't have that real love, you're not going to be able to give any of these things. You're not going to be nice. You're not going to be kind. And have some of you check, that could be the reason why some people don't like being around you. That could be the reason why some people don't like interacting with you, because you're not nice. You're not kind. You're not understanding. You're not forgiving. Again, you're making everything about you. And nobody wants to be around any individual that is 100% self centered. Okay. So now that I've said that, hopefully I've said something that has helped you today. I just wanted to come on for a moment to put this word in your ear. Hey, stop, pause. Don't make everything about you. And then be nice, be kind, be understanding, and be forgiving, because you don't know where a person has been before they came into your presence. So I hope you all have enjoyed this moment. Thank you for tuning in. I love y'all. I really do. I promise I love all of you that are on here. Thank you for the red and blue dots. That means a great deal to me. And let us continue to pray for one another. Let us continue to love one another, y'all. Hey, love has got to be real. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Don't just be popping off and going on and retaliating and trying to get revenge, because somebody has hurt and offended you. But let me tell you this: deal with your stuff. I'm talking about the stuff that you jacked up. That's what I'm talking about. The stuff that you jacked up, make amends, get it right, and go ask for forgiveness and deal with your stuff and make things right, make things better. You always want to make things better wherever you go. You never, I learned this, I'm saying this and I'm getting off. I learned from old people that you never want to make folks glad twice. There's glad to see you coming and glad to see you going. You never want to make people glad twice. People are like, oh, I'm so always glad to see you. Then, oh, I am glad they are gone up out of here. You never want that to happen. You always want to make folks glad once, glad to see you coming, and that they never want to be away from you, that they always want to be in your presence. I love you all. Continue having a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all again very soon. I'm signing off by saying hello, 2019. I'm going up, and so are you. What's to come for you and for me, it's better than what's been. Man, love.